People seem to think this is a good thing. Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews, everyone. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. Disney shakeup. Bob Iger back as CEO. Bob Chapek out. Board cites complex industry transformation for shocking C-suite shuffle. Iger, I am extremely optimistic for the future of this great company. So yeah, I remember when Bob Iger here was head of Disney. Under his leadership, he has destroyed Star Wars, destroyed Marvel. Um, he has treated his employees at the theme parks with great ire. He's treated them poorly to the point where members of the Disney family, the actual Walt Disney's actual blood family, came in and slammed him and slammed how the employees are being treated. And he is the one who first embraced identity politics and child sexualization themes in products for children. Chapek actually pushed more of that forward, but and also in a lot more vigor. However, Iger was the one that got it started. So let's get into this. I just want you all to know that before we get into this piece by Variety here. With Bob Iger's full memo and pre-market trading. Okay, so it's been updated. Bob Iger has replaced Bob Chapek as Disney CEO. A shocking turn of events for the world's largest media company has been in turmoil ever since Iger stepped down as CEO in February 2020. Well, yeah, when you go and start pushing heavier identity politics, when you have insane racist policies where white people have to admit that they're somehow evil and oppressive towards other people simply for being white, when you have franchises that are currently still being destroyed and pissed on currently, but have been, or this stuff has been going on under the last CEO. Yeah, maybe it is time for somebody else to come in, but you brought in the one person who got it all started. The shakeup that caught the entertainment industry and Wall Street mostly by surprise was confirmed by Disney board of directors late Sunday. There had been rumblings of a shakeup in the C-suite, but the prospect of Iger returning the CEO job seemed far-fetched. The turnabout recalls a situation a generation ago in Apple in 1997 when Steve Jobs returned to the helm of the company he co-founded after 12 years. In the wilderness, Iger was out of power as CEO for a little under 3 years. Disney stock jumped 8% in pre-market trading to $91.80 per share early Monday morning. In response to Iger's stunning reinstatement, it comes less than 2 weeks after the company reported its lowest closing price for Disney shares in more than 2 years. Well, people are still against Disney. Disney, who has a shitty vetting process for their employees because they have constantly hired people who have been caught in sex trafficking stings by law enforcement. Disney, who has hired alleged pedophiles. One who was sleeping with a child, and instead of being turned in by Disney, they moved her to a different department. Disney, who has pushed for the sexualization of children with child-themed products and productions in entertainment to include LGBTQ representation in order for these kids to learn about this stuff, because Disney thinks that the parents aren't doing it quick enough. Disney, who is constantly hating on white people, men, straight white men, is the basic evil in Disney now. But yet, they have a straight white man, Bob Iger, coming back to Disney. But yeah, in entertainment, straight white men are basically seen as assholes, is basically my point in that regard. We thank Bob Chapek for his service to Disney over his long career, including navigating the company through unprecedented challenges of the pandemic. Yes, so much that he fired people. So much that Disney was firing people for not getting vaccinated when the vaccine has already proven, in some cases, to kill people, and has proven in some cases to cause lasting harm to a person's body, forcing them against their will to get the vaccine if they wanted to keep their job. Bob Chapek, who also agreed to critical race theory kind of practices in the company's policies, where you had to basically check your whiteness because black people are oppressed by white people simply for being there. They got called out on that shit too. But yeah, Bob Chapek, great fucking CEO. The board has concluded that Disney embarks on an increasingly complex period of industry transformation. Bob Iger is uniquely situated to lead the company through this pivotal period. The news comes as a shock to even the most senior Disney executives. Industry sources said staffers learned of the stunning reversal in the press release emailed by Disney corporate communications team. The first reaction from a number of employees reached by Variety was skepticism that it was some kind of phishing scam or internet hoax. The shock was even greater as the news was confirmed, and the stranger-than-fiction reality sank in. A number of Disney leaders were attending a pre-show reception at Dodger Stadium tonight for Elton John farewell show, his farewell tour. I could have sworn he did that already, but which aired as a live stream event on Disney Plus. As the news broke around 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, Disney and ABC executives were also out in force at Microsoft Theater in Hollywood for ABC's live telecast of the American Music Awards. Anecdotal reports indicated that there was an exodus of top brass from the cushy seats at Dodger Stadium and the AMAs around the time the email landed in the inboxes of Disney's 190,000 employees worldwide. So this basically shook them up to the point where they had to leave their events because of what was going on. Chapek's ouster comes on the heels of a third quarter earnings report that spooked Wall Street, as spending on content and marketing for Disney's direct-to-consumer platform hits its projected peak of $1.5 billion in fiscal 2022. Even though Disney had previously guided Wall Street to losses of that scale, and even as Disney Plus posted subscriber growth for the quarter, the river of red ink still took a toll on Disney's stock price. Shares fell well below the $100 mark to $90 on November 9th, and the day after Disney's aftermarket earnings report. Yeah. I have friends who follow this a lot more, the stock bit of Disney and whatnot. Boy, when you see their stock prices drop from like over $100, I think just under $200 per share, to under $100 per share, that's pretty freaking bad. Iger's stealthy return to the top adds a dramatic finish to the soap opera that has captivated Hollywood for the past few years. Iger is given his 15-year run that transformed Disney through acquisitions and great ambition. Yes, nothing like ruining entertainment to call yourself a success. Yeah. Would invariably cast a large shadow over his successor. But in this case, there were reports of Iger versus Chapek. Tussles almost from day one. I am extremely optimistic for the future of this great company and thrilled to be asked by the board to return as its CEO. Iger said in a statement, Disney and its incomparable brands, and franchises hold a special place in the hearts of so many people around the world. Yeah, so special I had to cut out chunks of my heart just to live with the taint that Disney has brought to entertainment. Most especially in the hearts of our employees. Those employees who were crying, who had to fish food out of the fucking trash just to eat at times because of how poorly you treated them. Yeah. That's actually reported on a few years ago. Whose dedication to this company and its mission is an inspiration. Yeah, because they have nowhere else to fucking go. You treat them so fucking poorly on the freaking theme park level, they barely have enough to freaking pay rent, even during the pandemic. That was under Chapek, admittedly, but before that, yeah, they weren't treated well. I am deeply honored to be asked again to lead this remarkable team with a clear mission focused on creative excellence to inspire generations through unrivaled, bold storytelling. You want to do that? You're going to have to stop the identity politics and the woke garbage. That's the actual truth. People are walking away from Disney products because of the heavy identity politics. That was actually reported on by many other people. I didn't report on it because, honestly, I'm getting sick and tired of reporting on the evils of Disney. But it just seems that it needs to be reminded every now and then, folks. They are pushing sexual shit in children's stories that Disney is creating. That is why the Daily Wire and Ben Shapiro and Jeremy Boring have actually created their own entertainment base for children's stories as well. And they're not going to include all the identity politics. Oh, I'm black, so I must be oppressed. Oh, I'm Hispanic, so I must be other things and whatnot. I dare not say them because, well, yeah, I might get suppressed. But yes, it's ridiculous. In a memo to staffers issued late Sunday, Iger elaborated on his own sense of amazement at returning to his old captain's chair. Read the full memo below. Let's see how... Oh my god, I'm not reading this whole thing. Holy crap. But yeah, alright, so this isn't the memo, apparently. I know this company has asked so much of you during the past 3 years, and these times certainly remain quite challenging. But as you have heard me say before, I'm an optimist, and I have learned one thing from my years at Disney. It is that even in the face of uncertainty, perhaps especially in the face of uncertainty, our employees and cast members achieve the impossible. Yeah, you've achieved the impossible of turning a lot of people against Disney. Chapek could not immediately be reached for comment. The 30-year-old Disney executive, who had experience running theme parks, consumer products, and home entertainment and distribution, was seen as the perfect insider to keep Disney's complex global operations humming. But Chapek hit some early missteps amid unprecedented pandemic times. He also inherited a strategy of betting the farm on the growth potential of Disney Plus and ESPN and Hulu. As the growth of potential global streaming sector has clearly come down to earth, Chapek's regime had the unenviable task of delivering numbers to Wall Street. Last week, Jim Cramer called for Chapek's replacement, citing Disney's balance sheet from hell. Wow. In September, Chapek presided over Disney's D23 fan event, that demonstrated the breadth of content under Disney's roof, from Marvel and Lucasfilm to National Geographic, Pixar, ESPN, and ABC. The Disney of the next 100 years will be more expensive than the Disney of the first 100 years. Yes, we will be delving into the delusional world. The delusional world of 87 genders, of non-binaryism, of people who are white are automatically evil, and all that other bullshit. That's eventually where they're going to go. Also, eventually, at the end of the 100 years of expansion, we will probably be putting kids in sexual situations on the screen for all you pedophile employees to enjoy. That's most likely what's going to happen, folks. I've been saying it for fucking years, and it's actually starting to happen now. But, yeah, keep ignoring me. The brand's elasticity is amazing. The capital D Disney. Each of the components of our company, whether it's Marvel, Lucasfilm, Pixar, ABC, ESPN, they have their own identity, but they all play into a much more expansive view of what Disney is, and the ultimate arbiter of what Disney can and can't be is the fan. You don't listen to the fucking fans. If you did, you wouldn't be doing half the shit you have been doing. The viewer, the guest, they are the ultimate arbiter. You haven't been listening to us. Believe it or not, people like me actually number in the majority. You've been listening to the minority of whiners who are a lot louder than me. Chapek faced unprecedented times as Disney leader, guiding the company through an abrupt shutdown of its theme parks around the world, as well as dealing with the other disruptions, closures, that affected every aspect of the company's business. But he also stumbled into a high-profit fight with Scarlett Johansson and CAA over Disney's decision to send her feature film Black Widow to Disney+. Given that the movie theaters were still largely shuttered, the fact that Disney engaged in a brief war of worlds and litigation with Johansson shocked the creative community. Well, yeah, she learned that her shit was basically, nobody wants to go to the theaters for $30 fucking just to see the movie, let alone have to pay extra money to frickin' get concessions and shit. That's what Disney Plus was doing at the time, folks. $29.99 for the new releases. Yeah. Disney Plus failed on that launch. The fact that, that shocked the creative community. Earlier this year, Chapek was also forced under pressure to issue a public apology to Disney employees for the company's handling of lobbying efforts and political donations in Florida tied to the state's recipient of a recent anti-LGBTQ legislation. It wasn't anti-LGBT. It was allowing the parents to dictate what their children learn. You guys, this is Variety's freaking bullshit for you, folks. The situation and the degree into which Chapek was held to account was a harsh example to the PR and talent of relations dexterity required. The leader of the Walt Disney Company, Iger's mastery of those skills was only underscored by the timing of his departure in February 2020, as reports of a new and highly contagious disease emerged out of China. Holy shit, they actually admitted that! Despite these missteps, Disney's board of directors renewed his contract for 3 years in June. Bob Chapek is the right leader at the right time in the Walt Disney Company, and the board has full confidence in him and his leadership team, Arnold said in June. Here's the Iger's full memo. I'm not going to go through this. Well, actually, I can. Dear fellow employees and cast members, it is with incredible sense of gratitude and humility and I must admit, a bit of amazement, that I write to you this evening with the news that I am returning as Walt Disney Company CEO. When I look at the creative success of our teams across our studios, Disney's General Entertainment, ESPN and International, the rapid growth of our streaming services, the phenomenal reimagining and rebound of our parks, and continued great work of ABC News, and so many other achievements across our businesses, I am in awe of your accomplishments, and I am excited to embark with you on many new endeavors. And I know that this company has asked so much of you during the past 3 years, and these times certainly remain quite challenging. But as you have heard me say before, I'm an optimist, and I have learned one thing from my years at Disney, is that in the face of uncertainty, perhaps especially in the face of uncertainty, our employees and cast members achieve the impossible. You will be hearing more from me and your leaders tomorrow in the weeks ahead. In the meantime, allow me to express my deep gratitude for all that you do. Disney holds a special place in the hearts of people around the globe, thanks to you. And your dedication to this company and its mission to bring joy to people through great storytelling is an inspiration to me every single day. Bob Iger. Yes, so much of an inspiration, or it is so inspiring that Disney continues to sexualize children, want to indoctrinate children to hate their parents, and to undergo surgeries of mutilation to their bodies, and all sorts of other things. And that they want schools to be able to indoctrinate children into thinking they are something that they are not, especially when they are too young to understand this shit. But yes, Bob Iger, you find this shit so inspiring. That is why I said this is not a good thing, folks. Bob Iger started this avalanche of identity politics and child sexualization throughout Disney. He is responsible for a shitty vetting process of why almost every time there is a freaking sex trafficking sting in Florida, Disney employees are a part of it. Wow. So yes, this is not a good thing. Bob Iger is probably going to lead this company even further down that train. Bob Chapek made it worse when he took over, but Bob Iger was the one that got us started. Anyway, that's going to be the video. I know it's a long one. I do apologize. But yes, this needed to be fully covered just so you all understand what this crap is going to involve. Disney is the Weyland-Yutani, the evil corporation from Aliens. They are essentially going to be pushing for shit, and they are monopolizing entertainment. They need to actually be stopped and taken down a peg. They need their ego checked. But yeah, anyway, folks, that's going to be the video. You all know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What do you think of this video? I know it's long. I do apologize again. Anyway, this has been Orange Hat Reviews. Stay humble.